Hi, welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. This is episode 468, and we're here live in Southwest Florida in my backyard. It is very stormy here today. You're probably going to hear some thunder and lightning, but I'll wait a few minutes before beginning and wait for people to pop over from pre-chat and from getting notifications and all that good stuff. If you end up watching the recorded version, no worries. Most people do watch the recorded version and not the live stream. Please feel welcome to say hello and leave comments there because I do reply to those throughout the day as well. Hi, Val. Excuse me, Antoinette. Christine, Dee Dee, Joe. Thanks for joining live, everybody. Good evening. Happy Thursday. Hope everybody's had a great day. I have been working hard all day, as usual. Hi, Cranjeet. I've been working on writing patterns, dyeing yarn. What else? I don't know. Lots of other stuff. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Melly. Hi, Barbara. Thanks for joining live. Good evening. It's really stormy here, very dark here. We're getting ready to get a storm. As you may also know, there is a hurricane headed to Florida in the next few days. We're still not sure where it's actually going to land, but we do, because of that, and knowing that it's going to be a very intense storm, it is time to start making preparations. And unfortunately, everybody and their brother is as well. The stores are starting to be low on water and low on different supplies. There are starting to have lines at the gas station, so it's already starting to get stressful around here. I do have a full tank of gas, and I do have lots of water stored here in the house. We do have some food supplies, but not many. But I do have a barbecue and a freezer full of meat, so probably be doing that as well. I should, once we get closer to the storm, if it ends up coming this way, I should probably stock up on ice and fill my coolers. But like I said, we still have a couple of days of that in limbo where it's like hurry up and prepare, but then the last minute decisions that have to be made won't be made till the end. I am in a flood zone, so should the storm come here, I will also have to evacuate. I know there's a lot of things to consider, but we don't know what's going on yet. We're just told the governor has declared Florida a state of emergency, and we are being told to prepare, and some of the spaghetti plots do come through my area, so, you know, we're just preparing and, you know, hoping for the best. Anyway, having said all that, welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. This is episode 468, and we are live in Southwest Florida on a very stormy Thursday evening. If you're joining me live, please say hello and leave comments. I know I would like to hear from you as well as everyone else in our awesome community. If you end up watching the recorded version of the podcast, please also feel welcome to say hello. I reply to those comments throughout the day, and so do some of the other community members here. So, thank you all for joining live. As you may already know, I launched the Abigail stitch pattern tutorial PDF yesterday. Super excited to finally get to share it with you. So in this stitch pattern tutorial, what I'm teaching you in the tutorial is how to take the stitch pattern, which is a multiple of 8 stitches and a multiple of 2 rows. So here's the original stitch pattern, worked in rows. Is that right side up? Yeah, this is right side up. But then not only do I teach you how to make this stitch pattern with written instructions and with chart instructions, but then I show you how to create 7 different shapes with this. So you learn how to work even in rows, you learn how to work even in rounds, you learn how to make a top-down increasing triangle shape. This is all within the same stitch pattern. You learn how to make a circular motif, you learn how to make a square motif, you learn how to make a hexagon motif. That's a 6-sided motif. And you also learn how to make the amazing rectangle motif. Wouldn't this be amazing as a set of placemats? Speaking of project ideas, the PDF also comes with 90 project ideas. So for each one of these shapes, I list suggested projects that require that shape of a piece of fabric and tell you the different suggested dimensions of each of those. So I give you the dimension for making placemats if you want to make placemats with out of the rectangles. I give you dimensions for different size table runners for the rectangle. Within the square, I teach you all different square shaped. I have square suggestions. In the circles, all sorts of different project suggestions. In the triangle top down, obviously this is a no-brainer for making shawls and shawlettes. And I give you the size dimensions so that you know how big should I make that triangle if I'm making a shawl for a small person, a medium person, a large person, or if you want to make it into a mini shawlette. So all of those dimensions are there. Or let's say you want to make a blanket, or a scarf. Within the working in rows section, I tell you what size of a piece of fabric to make a scarf for any size child and any size woman and any size man. What sizes to make for a bunch of different afghans and all sorts of other projects that you would make with working even in rows. And then working even in rounds, I show you all different projects to make with that, including what size would I make a cowl for a variety of different sizes. So there's 90 project suggestions in the tutorial for all 7 of these shapes, along with the written instructions, the charts, and then for the ones that you would want to continue increasing, like for this one, I tell you which rows you would continue making to keep increasing it, and also tell you how many repeats you will be increasing by on each of those rows so that you can continue to keep your stitch count if you're going to make this larger. And that applies to the triangle, to the square, to the rectangle, to the hexagon, all of those shapes that you would consider using for making larger pieces. Like let's say you wanted to make a baby blanket in the hexagon shape or a tablecloth in the hexagon shape. I show you how to keep going after the chart ends and after the written instructions end, because those last 2 rows are what you'll be repeating. And each time you do it, there's a fixed number of increases that happen, so you can continue to count by that multiple as you grow it larger. It's easier than it sounds. And so all of that is explained in that area as well. And so here's some of the charts. This is what some of the charts look like. And so those would be alongside with all of the written instructions for them. And then also in the PDF, I included some patterns. Oh, and by the way, the entire PDF is only $3.99, and there's a link for it in the video description of this video if you want to go check it out. So the 3 patterns that are included are a baby hat with a matching mommy hat, and if you're not making it for baby, the hat for a woman is fine all on its own. So the 3 little flowers go off on the side, and they're meant to match with the baby hat, so it'd be a fabulous baby shower gift or new baby gift. But again, if you're not making it for baby, the hat's fine on its own. And then a square baby blanket with a gorgeous ruffle. So the whole set could be a great baby gift for a shower. But again, you could make this in any different size to make this a lapgan for on the couch. Or you could make this larger to make it a blanket, a bigger blanket for cuddling with or putting on your bed. So it's using the square motif, and it's increasing that square motif by continuing on with the 2 round repeat, and then adding this gorgeous ruffled border at the end. So you get all 3 of these patterns, the blanket and the 2 hats, and then all of the tutorials for the stitch pattern in all 7 shapes with charts, written instructions, plus 90 project suggestions with dimensions, and you get all of that for $3.99. Does anybody have any questions about, oh yes, that's a great suggestion. This could also be flipped into a shawl by turning that square on the diagonal, and if you offset the 2 a little bit, it even becomes a tiered shawl. So look at that. you could make that, you could fold the square in half. This is a great thing to do with any square shawl, actually. And you could do this with any weight yarn. This is done in Be So Baby yarn because it's a baby blanket, but imagine doing this in Be So Fine or Be So Sporty. It would be absolutely exquisite as a doubled shawl with that ruffled tiered border. Look at that. Just absolutely stunningly gorgeous. Love it. Does anybody have any questions about the PDF tutorial or what's included or anything at all about it? Thank you for all the compliments. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Thank you. Love seeing gorgeous compliments. And so going forward, I'll be doing lots more of these tutorials with other stitch patterns. It's something that I can see how to manipulate stitch patterns to create shapes very well, and I know not everybody can. So I thought that this would be a great way for me to teach other people how to go beyond those two-dimensional working even and row stitch patterns, because once you have the information for how to manipulate a stitch pattern into all those different shapes, it opens up a whole new world for being able to just explore with yarn and not need patterns. It can be so much fun. So I think that it's going to be a real huge learning experience to download these PDFs and learn from them. Yeah, double tiered shawl is a great idea. All of the information about how much yarn you need is listed in the PDF. I don't have it off the top of my head. I think the blanket's 8 balls, but I don't remember for sure. Yes, there is a lot of work that goes into it, and each week or every 2 weeks, something in that space, in that pace, I will be adding new PDFs. So last week I did this entire tutorial on the single crochet, and this week I did a 2-row stitch pattern, and then I think next I'm going to do half double crochet, and then after that maybe another little more complicated stitch pattern. So just keep changing it up, but there's just so much information, such great reference material to have for when you feel like just exploring with yarn. You're going to learn so much from these. But if anyone has any more questions, I would be more than happy to answer them. I was planning on weaving in loose ends while we talk, but I believe I left my needle in another room. Like, that doesn't happen, right? That happens to everybody, I'm sure. I could probably run in, but I'm going to wait and see if there's any questions. Joe's always doing that too. I'm always running out of stuff too. It seems like I can never find a yarn needle when I want one. Baby Bjorn, you want to come back again? You want your little cameo on camera? Joe has disappearing stitch markers. Yes, those disappear all the time too. I could probably use a set of stitch markers, yarn needles, and scissors in every corner of every room. Oh, somebody suggested making a hair clip that can hold a needle. Yeah, that would be handy. Christine wants to see how I do L left-hand triple treble. I think that might be what you mean. Is that stitch not in my stitch dictionary videos? It should be. Oh, hi, Jens. Glad you're catching live for the first time. Welcome to the podcast. Kim loves Bjorn's white socks. I love seeing new people join. I know everybody else does too, so welcome to the podcast. I've been dyeing Be So Sporty Bling today, so I've got fall colors that will be out hopefully by Monday. Yeah, somewhere around, no, they might be done. Let's see, what's today, Thursday? Yeah, I might even have those launched by the weekend. So I'm going to have new Sporty Bling colors in the next couple of days, and as soon as those are done, I'll start dyeing Be So Fine Bling for fall. Well, basically, Kim or Christine, a triple treble is just one more yarn over more than a double treble. So for a double treble, you're wrapping your yarn 3 times. For a triple treble, you're wrapping your yarn 4 times. Let me see if I can grab some yarn and a needle, and we can just do that right now. Might take me a second. Let me go grab yarn. And then the L, I'm guessing you mean is left hand to right hand, but honestly, if you just pay attention to what I'm saying, I think that this should be pretty easy for you to figure out. And any stitch going forward that's taller than a treble crochet or a double treble crochet is the same pattern as the ones previous. They all build on the technique of double crochet, but each one just adds one more yarn over at the beginning of the stitch. So let me get some chains here so we can get started. Okay, and then at the beginning of the row, it would be a chain 6 that counts as a triple treble. So a chain 3 counts as a double, chain 4 counts as a treble, chain 5 counts as a double treble, and so it'll be chain 6 that counts as a triple treble. If you're counting that as a stitch. If you're not counting it as a stitch, you would use one last. But we can talk about that another time. That doesn't have anything to do with this per se. So here we go. So it's yarn over 4 times. Insert your hook into the specified loop. So I'm going into the 7th chain from my hook. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2 once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and 5 times. Okay, that is a triple treble stitch. So it's yarn over 4 times. We'll do this a couple times. Yarn over 4 times. When you're doing lots of wraps like this, I think it's really important to make sure they stay close together. What I find is if it gets a little too loosey-goosey, you end up having too loosey-goosey of the top portion of the stitch, and I find that the stitches turn out much more uniform and much more professional looking if you can pay attention and just be mindful of keeping all your wraps close together. So it's yarn over 4 times, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 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 and yarn over, pull through 2. Let's see if I can try to do this from this side. If I can get I can't see my hands though. Okay, so we'll try yarn over 4 times. Is that working? Yarn over 4 times. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. I'm trying to pay attention to whether I'm on camera or not. Okay, maybe there. Yarn over 4 times. Insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 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 yarn over, pull through 2. I don't know if that one showed up that well, so I'll go back to doing it this way again. I'll try to keep my fingers out of the way as much as possible. So, and honestly, if you already know how to do a double crochet, you know all of the skill set you need for doing any of these taller stitches. It's exactly the same as double crochet, just more repeats of what you do in double crochet. So yarn over 4 times, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 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 and yarn over, pull through 2. Look at those fabulous tall stitches. All right, and I will stop now for a second and see if that helped, or if anyone wants me to slow something down, or if my fingers covered something that was important. I'm always open to feedback. There's no point in teaching if you're not teaching, right? Like, I don't know if I said that right. What's the point of teaching if no one's learning, right? So I'm always open to, kind criticism when I'm teaching, because there's no point in teaching if nobody's learning. So as long as everybody's getting what I did and can see what I did, we can move on, or we can work on this some more. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Tennessee Rose. Thanks, everybody, for your kind words about the hurricane. I appreciate it. Barbara says it showed up well. Wonderful. Good. Yeah, so want to do a bigger one? Let's do a quadruple treble. Why not? just so you can see how easy it is to keep. Oh yeah, let's make each stitch for the end of this row taller than these. So we wrapped 4 times. Let's wrap 5 times now. So this would be a quadruple. Here's 5 times. Insert. Carmen, you can totally do it. Yes, you can. If you can do a double crochet, you can do any taller stitch. Okay, there's the quadruple treble. I don't remember what the word is for 5 times, but we'll call this a 5 times treble. But that's not what, okay, so that's a triple treble where we, the triple treble, we wrapped 4 times. The quadruple treble, we wrapped 5 times. The next one we'll wrap 6 times. I'm not going to worry about the names. I'll just say how many times we wrapped. Okay, so we wrapped 6 times for this one. These stitches would be amazing in the delta stitch for a lace shawl, and I've been meaning to do that for the longest time. I want to do a delta flower petal shawl in these taller stitches with super fine yarn, like Be So Fine yarn. So that was wrapping 6 times. So we'll wrap 7. We're just going to keep going to the end of the row. So you can see that they're all based on exactly what you already know how to do in double crochet. I already forgot how. Was that 7? Can anybody tell me how many times I wrapped on that one? I forgot. I think that might have been 7. Oh, wait. That was 7? Okay, so we'll wrap 8 times now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we'll start over. Thanks, everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. See how nice and close I have those? The taller the stitch, the more important this is going to become to not get them too loosey-goosey. So this was wrapping 8 times, and we'll yarn over, pull through 2 until we have all of those loops pulled off the needle. Imagine how fast you could make a scarf or a shawl or a blanket or anything with these taller stitches. I mean, that's like almost a 3-inch row. So that was 8, so we'll do 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Insert our hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And so you're yarn over pulling through 2 one more time than the number of wraps you did. Because even on double crochet, that's the way it goes. On double crochet, yarn over once, but you yarn over pull through 2 twice. So you follow that same formula or ratio is for the rest of it. Look at how cool this is. We thought those were tall, didn't we? So these were the triple trebles. That was yarn over 4 times for the triple treble, and then from there we did yarn over 5 times, yarn over 6 times, yarn over 7 times, yarn over 9 times, and yarn over 9 times. Wait and see if there's any questions about that. Then you know what else would be cool? What if you did these in the opposite direction on the next row? What if we did short stitches here and made them taller to the end? Wouldn't that be a cool skinny scarf? Or a cool pattern anywhere? You would start with a short stitch here and then make them longer, and then it would end up being straight across the top. Yeah, exactly. Go down the other way now. Or if we had more chain right here, we could go down the other way as well. And then do the opposite on the next row. That'd be great for stripes too. Yeah, this would be a fantastic tutorial one day too. There's just not enough time in the day. But yeah, you could really explore this in stripes, or just make a skinny scarf. Seriously, just make a skinny scarf and do this. Even if you just picked any one of these, pick that first stitch and make a skinny scarf in that. Do you know how fast that would go? And do it in a bling yarn so that you're doing simple stitches and getting the bang for your buck from the yarn. Here, I've got some bling yarn here. Imagine doing a skinny scarf in a super simple but tall stitch like this with this yarn. It'd be so pretty. One thing I've also noticed is when you do super tall stitches like this and you want to work in rows, not rounds, and you want these stitches to always face the front. You know what's a great stitch to do alternate with rows of these is 1 row of single crochet. So if you wanted to do a skinny scarf in the triple treble stitch, which was yarn over 4 times, you would do 1 row of yarn over 4 times triple trebles, and then 1 row of single crochet, then 1 row of triple trebles, 1 row of single crochet. And it gives some stability to the taller stitches, and it allows the pattern to always face front. I don't know about you, but sometimes I don't love seeing the right and wrong side of a stitch going back and forth row to row. I think it looks a little prettier if you use a different stitch on the opposite row so that you only see the one texture. So like alternating rows of taller stitches with a row of single crochet actually ends up having a prettier texture, in my opinion. And that way you can really go taller in your stitches too. So instead of doing double crochet every row, I would do a super tall stitch for 1 row and then single crochet on the return row. And I think you'd really love it for a simple scarf. And picking something like a bling yarn, you get all that fancy look in the yarn, but just do simple stitches. I think that'd be a scarf. I mean, it'd be a great gift. It wouldn't take long to make. Great to make for yourself. Make them in different colors for different accessories. I don't know, fun stuff. I've done sweaters like that. In fact, Marlon was going through old photos today, and he pulled out some photos of me in a sweater that I made years ago. I don't know if any of you remember the first book that my patterns were in. First book I was published in wasn't my own book as an author. It was Kim Worker's book through Interweave, and it was called the Crochet Me book, based on her website from before then. And the top I wore to my book signing book event party was a top that I had made in rows, alternating rounds of double treble crochet and single crochet. Gosh, I think we're out of time and I can't get the photos. I'll try to bring them for the podcast tomorrow morning, because I want you to see what I'm talking about, how alternating tall stitch with short stitches gives stability to the work and just has a beautiful texture to it. Anyway, I've rattled on about that now. Does anybody have any questions? The same course of stitches. Yeah, you could do reverse wedges in those, absolutely. That's what we were talking about when I first showed the swatch. You could definitely do them in the reverse order and get them going in different directions. Absolutely. You could do chevrons that way too. I mean, you could end up doing a chevron shape that way. But why do you snitch underwear with, oh, okay. We got crazy typo people now. Where was, oh, I need to grab something. Hold on. I don't think I have any Create, Share, Inspire notebooks out here. Let me grab one. Or do I have one even? Nope, let me go grab one. Okay, so if anybody would like to pick a number between 1 and 5, I will randomly pick a quote from one of the Create, Share, Inspire notebooks. Joyce is number 4, so let's grab 4. Here we go, here's number 4. Oh, it's getting dark out here. Oh, this is a good one. I skipped a couple pages. I know I said randomly, but there were a couple that we had just done recently, so I wanted to pick something that wasn't so recent. This one's by Confucius. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Wonderful. Isn't that great? No matter what you're wanting to learn or what you're wanting to do, it does not matter how slow your baby steps are. It doesn't. It just matters that you keep going. The only thing you don't want to do is give up, right? Never give up, never stop, always keep moving forward. It does not matter how slow at all. Don't ever beat yourself up for going slow. There's nothing wrong with going slow. I mean, not everybody works at the same pace, so don't compare yourself to others either. Your journey is unique and you are good enough just how you are. Please always remember that. And wanting to learn something new or wanting to improve something is at your pace, nobody else's pace. Nobody else has everything that you're juggling. Nobody else has all the burdens you have. Nobody else has the same responsibilities you have. You cannot compare yourself to another person because there is absolutely not a single person on earth who is exactly like you with all the same stuff going on. So never compare yourself as long as you're moving forward at any pace. You're doing awesome and you are enough right now. Please remember that. But thank you, Confucius, because we all need a reminder of this every now and then. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Wonderful. Love it. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy evening to spend a few minutes with me. I hope you enjoyed the spooky, dark, cloudy backyard. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and the show and tell. If you are interested in the Abigail Stitch tutorial, the link to the PDF for $3.99 is in the video description below if you want to check it out. What else? If you have questions, leave them for me in the comments. As soon as the live stream ends, this gets converted into a recorded video. So if you want to watch it again, if you missed part of it, you can leave comments there and I can help you and send you links if you can't find something. There's lots of information in the video description as well, so you can check there for other information. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. Have a wonderful evening, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.